Here's your gardener here. Hello YouTube. Well, it's spring finally. Getting ready to plant some potatoes here. I know most of you's probably thinking, what's he doing planting potatoes in April? You're supposed to put them in on Good Friday. Man, it was cold, ground was froze, the whole works. So that didn't happen. So we're going to put them in now. I've done this before and they work just fine. Just a little update here on the old garden bed. It's doing real well. This right here is the garlics. I've got two different types in here. I've got a stiff neck garlic, and then I've got a handful of elephant garlic in with them. I've got 2 rows of carrots down in here. You can see there's one small row. You can just barely see the tops on some of these onions right there, some purple onions. And then I planted 4 rows of carrots in here. And then this little green spotting that you're seeing here, that is turnips. So I've got some thinning to do on those. I'm gonna let them get a little bigger. They just did germinate and come through. But today, I'm gonna plant these Yukon Golds. I went to my local Rural King. I bought a 50-pound bag. I didn't get as good as a deal as I did last year. Last year I just had to get what was left over. Last year I waited till almost the very end and I got a 50-pound bag for $5. That was a deal, but I wanted Yukon Golds this year, so I went ahead and paid a little more, and still I think for a 50-pound bag it was only $14. But last year, out of that $5 bag, 50-pound bag, I got oh Lord, well over 100, probably 125, 130 pound of potatoes out of it. Matter of fact, I still got potatoes down in the basement. So it was well worth the price I paid for them. But anyways, just showing you what I'm doing here today. I've been cutting my potatoes open and letting them sun. Now, almost everybody will tell you, well, them need to sit for 24 hours. Man, I have never had the time to do that. I am not retired yet. I'm constantly on the go. I got to plant it when it's ready, when I can do it, and so forth. I know you're supposed to let it set 24 hours. However, I have never had an issue with it. Now, I reckon if you're in kind of a low-lying area and it stays wet, yeah, they'd probably rot on you. But I'm up on a hill here a little bit, and I've got well-drained soil and such, so I just cut them. As you can see, I got them laying in the old lasagna garden already. I've got them with the cut side up. It's a nice sunny day. I got a nice breeze blowing. You can see my garlic over here is moving a little bit. And by golly, they're drying out real quick. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to finish putting these in, and I'll show you how I do these with this lasagna gardening. This is the stuff I showed you last year. Let's see, we put grass down. We put rabbit manure, corn cob off of the rabbits. As you can see right up in there, I've got some ash from my wood stove throughout the winter. I've tried spreading that out, and there's more underneath. I just didn't concentrate in that one area, y'all. There's more up underneath all this other, but you have to clean the rabbit pens once a week at least. And so those rabbit droppings and stuff keep going back down on top of here. So there are ash up underneath here. You can see some right down in this area here. It's just been covered over with rabbit waste. These are my cages from last season. I just pulled them from the other end of the garden and stacked them up over here. It's funny, when you lasagna garden, you throw a little bit of everything out in your garden because you're just getting rid of waste. That is garlic from a couple years ago. There used to be a compost pile there, and I did away with the compost pile, but there's garlic still. And this is early spring still. Right here, I've got some red Pontiacs coming up through the ground from last season. I must have missed one or two. There's one. There's one. There's one back up in there. And that's okay. Tomatoes are going on this side of the garden this year. I'm doing a rotation like most gardeners do. The pool finally got put up. It's not finished, but it is put up. As you remember, last year I had to reduce some of my garden space, so I've been working on putting more planters in, more boxes and so forth. But as a working man with a whole family and 4 youngins and lots of mouths to feed, I got to do it when the money's there. So there's my green bean trellises that I used last year. I don't know that I'm going to do that this year. They took up a lot of real estate. I want to try something different, and I'll show you guys that when I get there. This lasagna gardening, I wish I knew more about mushrooms. These probably are not edible, I'm assuming. But every day you come out, there is some sort of a mushroom growing, and I'm assuming it's from all the decay, rotting. I mean, we've got wood in here, we've got all kinds of stuff, but I don't know what kind they are, so I just turn them under. There's a bunch of them though. There's some more here. But anyways, like I said, I'll come out one day and there'll be a bunch of them just standing tall. Don't know where they come from, but Flash, you just settle down. Ain't no need to get up and move. You're all right. He's high maintenance. All right. Like I said, just cutting these potatoes up. I'll see if I can do this one-handed. Most gardeners know this, but if you're new at gardening, I'll try to demonstrate. Let me see if I can find a good one up in here. There we go. That looks like a good one. Now you need to buy seed potatoes. You can use potatoes from the grocery store. I have done it. People say, well, you need to buy seed potatoes. Yeah, I agree. Seed potatoes are already started putting eyes on. But by golly, if you buy some potatoes at the good old grocery store and they've went too long and they've got some eyes coming out of them, you can plant them and they will grow. So I'm going to try and do this one-handed here. Now this one's got a lot of eyes on it. Here's one, there's several over here. If I took my time and effort, I could probably make, probably good 3 of them out of here. But let's see, maybe I can, I don't know. Yeah, let's make 3 of them out of it. You eating one of my potatoes? You're eating one of my... How am I supposed to grow anything if you're eating my potatoes? Huh? Guess when you're hungry, you're hungry. All right, so there we have 3 of them. I'm just going to bring them back over here and replace what Flash has just eaten. Now, a lot of people say, you got them sitting awful close. Yeah, they are. But honestly, in lasagna gardening, I can put my spacing closer because the ground is looser, especially with potatoes. I very rarely hill them up. I just let them do their thing. I reckon if I hilled them, I'd probably get more out of them. I might try that this year. I don't know. You get out of there. You ain't eating all my potatoes. So I'm gonna keep this up, and I'll just go get my old V trowel, and I'll put me about a 2-inch trench, and then I'll just seat these dudes down in there and cover them back over with some compost, and right there. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to shovel or fork some of this that you already see that's been breaking down all winter, and I'm going to fork it right on top of these. I'll go back and turn all these over, by the way, after they've dried. You want your sprout standing up, or your eyes standing up towards the sky. But then I'm going to fork that over there on top of it, and then I've got a whole fresh bed of new compost. That old rabbit pellets is the ticket. That is some good stuff. It's mixed with, we use crushed corn cob, and it breaks down right nice over time. But that's what we're going to do today. Once they start coming up through the ground, I'll give you an update on them and let y'all see them, and I'll give you an update on the old garden box. Hope to get this old girl planted this year, or I'm sorry, not planted, but painted, and see how she turns out. So all right, Lord bless you, have a good day.